Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Bullcrap Drivel News. Today's top story: the Cookie Monster is announced dead. In an eyewitness account, he was seen walking through the Bronx. He then ran up to a group of men, shouting, "Cookie, cookie, cookie." Then someone shot him in the face. The man to be the alleged killer of the Cookie Monster, Deshaun LeBron Sean, released this statement. "I just seen this weird blue nigger running at me, shouting for cookies, yo. So I pulled out my gat and smoked the fuzzy nigger."
Police have been maintaining a presence on Sesame Street as it is believed the notorious Big Bird is planning a revenge attack. In other news, a man has been sighted crawling around naked on his front lawn, eating the grass. His neighbor approached him and said, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing? You're crazy." To which the man replied, "I'm crazy? Well, look at you. You're talking to a lawnmower."
In other news, a boy in England has been raped by 50 chihuahuas. This awful turn of events, but it is believed this is the first time the boy has had sex. Kind of reminds me of when I lost my virginity to a Komodo dragon in Thailand. The locals told me not to go lurking through a swamp, but I was way wrecked on Mai Tais and Malibu and Coke. Good holiday there.
In other news, Greece has appointed a new financial minister in an attempt to solve their recent issues. The new minister is none other than pop icon Kesha, responsible for hits such as TikTok and Blow. When asked what her first port of call would be, Kesha replied, "We're all going to do a bunch of Jaeger shots and throw glitter at each other." As to whether this will actually solve Greece's monetary problems is yet to be seen.
In other news, McDonald's has released a new meal. It's actually called the Unhappy Meal. Instead of a burger and chips, you get a mad drop kick to the neck. And unfortunately, you don't even get a toy. A guy walks out of the booth and pulls your hair, slaps your face, calls you a silly bitch.
In other news, a stunning new medical paper has been published in the International Science Journal. According to this new paper, the AIDS virus is not actually a disease of the immune system, but in fact what AIDS stands for is an incredibly dreadful snake. So ladies and gentlemen, what this means is if you have unprotected sex, you risk being killed by a giant angry snake that travels all over the world at incredible speeds.
In other news, in a bizarre turn of events, a lady has been left pregnant after a shark attack. I guess she now has the arduous task of working out what she's going to call this child. I'll throw out some suggestions. How about Finn, Gills, Chompers, or horrible mutant disgusting shark baby boy bitch?
In other news, Steve Jobs has recently passed away after a long battle with cancer. So, for all of you out there, take a moment to reflect on Steve Jobs, the man who invented all jobs ever. Whether you're a nurse, a fireman, a prostitute, a school teacher, or in any way hired or employed for money, you owe your job to Steve Jobs, the man who invented jobs.
A new celebrity nanny, has brought out 50 ways to deal with your upset child. Her favorite way is now, if your baby's crying on an airplane or in a cinema, just shake it profusely for at least a good 2 minutes until it stops.
In other news, Arnold Schwarzenegger is retiring from politics and returning to filmmaking. His latest endeavor is due out this summer, a feature film which he wrote and directed, titled Crazy Austrian Guy with Hammers. The film is about a mild-mannered blacksmith who one day accidentally consumes a large portion of crystal meth and goes on a hammer rampage throughout Hamburg. The film is expected to be competing with Samuel L. Jackson's new offering, locked in a hot shed with a couple of mad raccoons and only a power drill to defend myself with, motherfucker.
A man in Baltimore has been seen standing on the highway, holding out a sign saying $5 to make you feel like a real man. When asked why are you doing this, he said, "Back up, motherfucker. I've got to get me money to pay for my PlayStation 3, yo bitch."
In other news, I've got this cute owl teapot. Look at that gorgeous owl teapot. Imagine all the tea I'm going to drink out of this.
In other news, this is a message to all my haters. And if you're still thinking of stepping to me, I've got an advanced diploma in dropping mad jabs into your throat. I also received a bachelor in crazy body shots and devastating headshots. So just think about that before you talk shit. Alright?
In other news, Michigan, USA, a state prone to flash flooding, is experiencing a new and devastating phenomenon. Flash bears, in which any given area can suddenly and inexplicably become inundated with vicious grizzly bears. The reason for this phenomenon is as yet unknown, and so far there are no suggested ways for dealing with an attack of flash bears, other than to always carry with you a suit of armor. But realistically, you're not going to take that with you on a camping trip.
That's all from us, from Crap Drivel Bullshit Utter Shit News. Thank you for having us.